In this video, we will introduce you to the Persian alphabet.
We will also teach you how to greet people and how to introduce yourself. We will also teach you how to say thank you and excuse me in Persian.
The Persian language is the most widely spoken Iranian branch of Indo-Iranian languages. It is also known as Farsi, an Arabic adaptation of the word Parsi, which is the name used by Persians to identify their language.
There is much debate as to whether the language should be referred to as Persian or Farsi. But in our videos, we will call it Persian. The Persian that is spoken today in Iran is also called New Persian, to distinguish it from Old and Middle Persian, which were language of the Achaemenid and Sasanian empires.
Throughout its history, Persian has been considered the language of high culture and literature throughout the Asian continent. Today, there are an estimated 110 million Persian speakers in the world. The countries where Persian is most prevalent is Iran, Afghanistan, and Tajikistan. In Afghanistan, the language is called Dari, and in Tajikistan, it is called Tajik. Both are dialects of Persian and can be understood by Persian speakers.
The modern Persian alphabet has 32 letters and is written in the Arabic script. 4 of the letters are unique to the Persian alphabet. These are J, P, Ch, G. In text, Persian words are written and read from right to left.
Because Persian is an Indo-European language, most of the sounds are similar to sounds in English, which makes it fairly simple for native English speakers to pronounce. There are several sounds, however, that were borrowed from Arabic and can be difficult to pronounce for learners of Persian. These are the letters Kh and G. Let's listen. Kh, G.
Persian has 3 short vowels and 3 long vowels. The short vowels A, E, and O are written with diacritic marks that are placed above or below other letters. The long vowels A, E, and U are represented with letters.
In this series, we will focus on basic speaking skills, and the writing system will not be covered here.
Now let's learn about basic greetings in Persian. In everyday interactions, people address each other with their last name unless they are very familiar or relatives. The titles Khanum and Agha can be added to both first and last names. Titles are dropped between close friends and acquaintances.
In formal settings, shaking hands is customary. A man usually waits for a woman to initiate handshaking. Different regions may have their own customs for greeting. Based on the current Islamic laws, men and women are not allowed to kiss or shake hands in public.
In informal setting, it is customary to familiar people and relatives to kiss on the cheek at least twice when greeting. Men also kiss when greeting each other. The concept of personal space is not practiced in Iran.
In Persian, there's both a formal and informal way to speak to others. The formal form is used to address people older than you or people you are not very close to, such as teachers or professors. In the formal form, plural pronouns shoma and ishan are used instead of singular pronouns to and u to show respect or distance.
Let's start with basic greetings. The most common expression, salam, which literally means peace in Arabic. Salam is used throughout the Muslim world to say hello. To respond, simply say salam. In return, let's try it. Salam. Salam.
In formal settings, you can say salam, but you can also say durud or ruz bikhair, which literally means good day. Any of these greetings are fine. To respond, just reply with the same greeting or any of the greetings we've just introduced.
Just like in English, it's common to ask, how are you, after saying hello. This phrase has both a formal and informal expression. To ask how are you to a friend or acquaintance, you simply say, چطوری? To ask people at a formal gathering or to show respect, ask, حال شما چطوره?
You will then want to ask the other person how they are by repeating either chatori or hali shama chatori, depending on whether you are in a formal or informal setting. Let's practice together. First, we will say the informal greeting. Chatori. Chatori. Now, let's say the formal greeting together. Hali shoma chatori? Hali shoma chatori?
To respond to how are you, you can simply say خوبم ممنون, which means I'm fine, thank you. This reply can be used in both formal and informal situations. Informally, you can reply by saying سلامتی ممنون, which means everything's fine, thank you.
After you reply, you will want to ask the listener how they are doing. Let's practice together. First, we will say the informal response. خوبم ممنون. خوبم ممنون. Now, let's say the informal response together. سلامتی ممنون. سلامتی ممنون.
Next, we are going to show you how to introduce yourself. First, you will want to give your name. You can do this by first saying اسم من, my name, and است at the end. For example, اسم من ساسان است. Let's try it together. اسم من ساسان است. اسم من ساسان است.
After providing the listener with your name, you will then want to ask them for their name. If you are in an informal setting, you should say, اسمتون چیه? Let's practice. اسمتون چیه? اسمتون چیه? If you are in a formal setting, you should say, اسم شما چیه? Let's practice. اسم شما چیه? اسم شما چیه?
In the following two demonstrations, we will show you how to greet people and how to introduce yourself. In the first demonstration, we will use informal language.
سلام.
سلام.
چطوری؟
سلامتی ممنون. شما چطوری؟
سلامتی.
اسم من ساسان است. اسم شما چیست؟
اسم من امیلی است. Now, we will show you how to greet people using formal language. It is very similar to the informal, but remember, there are some slight differences. See if you can hear these differences clearly. روز بخیر.
روز بخیر.
حال شما چطوری؟
خوبم ممنون. شما چطوری؟
خوبم ممنون.
اسم من ساسانه. اسم شما چیه؟
اسم من امیلی است.
We hope you have enjoyed learning about the Persian alphabet and how to greet and introduce yourself to others.
In our next video, we will introduce you to some common expressions used in daily life in Iran.
Thank you and Khoda Hafiz.
Khoda Hafiz.